name is Chimere, and joining me today is Aish. Before I jump into the problem, I'll share with you a personal story. In January, I tore my Achilles, which I'm still recovering from, and I went into the ER to get urgent care. But I ended up staying there for 10 hours. And then I was so frustrated because I was there for such a long time. But then I looked to my left and I saw a couple people literally dying. They were dying and no one would help them. So not only did I feel called to do something about it, but it also made me want to look further into why it's happening. And I saw that nurses are actually spending a lot of time, looking at gathering information and prioritizing based on that information rather than doing other more meaningful tasks. And so what that results in, what the impact of that is that 14 million people are actually getting fed up waiting in the ER, and then they leave and no one treats them. That's $895 lost each time that someone leaves the ER. And that is $12.5 billion in unrealized revenue for these hospitals. That's a huge opportunity waiting for someone to grab, and hopefully that would be because of us with Triage X. So what it is a multimodal AI voice agent that would actually talk to a patient when they walk into the hospital, and it would assess them through conversation, and then based on that, prioritize them accordingly. Now I'll pass it on to Aish to share a wonderful analogy.
Yeah, so essentially when we were researching, there are a couple of other players in the space that essentially try to do the same thing, like make the process more efficient of triage and reprioritization, but they are just assistants. They do not completely replace the human in the loop, essentially providing limited benefits. So when we think about why this is happening, it's mainly tied to trust. Like, why would you entrust such a critical aspect to an AI and remove the human completely? But if we look back to self-driving cars, in 2014, no one would trust getting into a car without a driver and trusting their life with it. But a bad driver can essentially lead you to an ER. So these systems are parallel in terms of their criticality. And if we look at self-driving tech now, Waymos are all on the road and they are driving without a driver. So why not be more ambitious in our health tech and make the ER process fully drive itself autonomously without any human in the loop? So that's what we're trying to do with Triage X and make the entire pipeline fully autonomous end-to-end.
Thank you. And now I'll share with you a demo. So it assumes that you walk into the hospital to the ER and then you start a conversation with the agent. Our volume, the audio is not so great, so I'll speak over it. Right now, we're just trying to gather information using conversation in a dynamic way, asking the patient questions and then getting responses back. It will do its best to assist you as best as it can, and then what is so cool is that based on all that data, it would actually assign you an ESI score to prioritize accordingly. That would be a lot of time that we hopefully would save the nurses. From an economic incentive point of view, if we implement Triage X at UCSF today, we would be saving 3,450 nurse hours and recover $900,000 annually for them because people are leaving these hospitals untreated. From an ARR perspective, if we scale that across 25 different hospitals and we're charging $90,000 per site, that would be $2.25 million in ARR that we can capture in the short run, which might seem like a lot, but it's only 10% of what we're saving these hospitals. Just to wrap up here, we're trying to create a better experience for patients in hospitals, and it just so turns out that we're actually just making money for them at the same time. It's a win. Thank you.